The world remembers kings and conquerors, but what about the women who shaped it? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Join me as we uncover the truth behind women who changed history but were forgotten. Our first game changer is Hypatia of Alexandria. She was an ancient mathematician and philosopher who lived in the year 358. The daughter of the philosopher Theon, Hypatia grew up in the great city of Alexandria. Back then, it was like the Silicon Valley of the ancient world. The city was a hub for scholars and scientists from all over the known world. So, it was the perfect place for someone like Hypatia who loved to learn. In fact, she was considered the greatest mathematician of her time. Men traveled from far and wide just to study under her. But sadly, this brilliant woman was murdered in the year 415 AD, and the reason, people thought that she used black magic. What a tragedy. Next, let's talk about Razia. She was the only female Sultan of Delhi. That's right, a powerful Muslim ruler in medieval India. We're talking 12th century, a time when women were not supposed to be in charge. But Razia was not your average woman. She was strong, smart, and brave. When her father Iltutmish died, she took over the throne. Even though the rules said that a woman couldn't rule, she made some big changes, like giving women more rights and making sure that the people were happy. But not everyone was happy with a woman in charge, especially her own brother. He wanted the throne for himself, so he had Razia put in jail, but that didn't stop her. She escaped and became the ruler of Delhi again. But sadly, she died fighting against her brother's army. Even though she's been forgotten by most people, Razia is still a hero in India. There are books, TV shows, and even songs about her bravery. Now let's go to Jamaica and meet Nanny of the Maroons. She was a tough woman who led the Jamaican resistance against the British and their slavery. During the 18th century, the British were trying to control Jamaica, and they brought in African slaves to work on their plantations. But many of these slaves were able to escape, and they created their own communities, called Maroon communities. And Nanny was the leader of one of these communities. She was a very spiritual person, and she used her knowledge of the land and the people to help her community thrive. She also led attacks against the British, which forced them to make a peace treaty with the Maroons. Today, Nanny is considered a national hero of Jamaica, and there is even a statue of her in the National Heroes Park in Kingston. Back in England, during the 19th century, Ada Lovelace was busy changing the world of math and technology. She was a mathematician and writer who was considered the world's first computer programmer. But don't let the title fool you! The computers back then were nothing like the ones we have today. They were huge machines that took up entire rooms and could only do basic calculations. But Ada saw the potential of these machines, and she started writing programs for them. She worked with Charles Babbage, who built the first mechanical computer called the Analytical Engine, and Ada wrote the first computer program for this machine. Her work laid the foundation for modern computer programming, and she is a true pioneer of the digital age. In the 16th century, Africa was a very different place. Many of the countries we know today didn't exist yet, and the continent was ruled by powerful empires and kingdoms. One of the fiercest rulers was Queen Nzinga of Ndongo and Mata. She was a warrior queen who fought against the Portuguese as they tried to colonize Angola. She was known for her bravery, intelligence, and ability to lead. She also made smart alliances with other African kingdoms and even with the Dutch. She knew that the only way to defeat the Portuguese was to unite the Africans, and she spent her life trying to do just that. Although she never succeeded in kicking the Portuguese out of Angola, she did manage to slow down their advance into Central Africa. And finally, let's meet Katherine Johnson, a brilliant mathematician who changed the course of space exploration. She worked at NASA in the 1960s and was part of the team that calculated the trajectory for the first American astronaut to orbit the Earth. But don't think that was easy. These calculations had to be precise down to the last second. And Katherine and her team had to do everything by hand because computers weren't advanced enough. But that didn't stop her. She was a genius, and she helped launch John Glenn into space. Without our calculations, we might not have become an intergalactic species. So why were their names erased from history? They were erased for many reasons. Sometimes it was because they went against the grain, like Razia Sultana, the female sultan. Or they were erased simply because they were women in a man's world. Whatever the reason, these women deserve to be remembered. These women changed the world, yet most of us never learned their names. But you can change that. Like, share, and subscribe for more hidden history. And who knows, you might just find that your name gets erased too.